After beginning its quest in 62 markets last weekend, Warner Bros.' Village Roadshows Ready Player One maintained the high score at the international box office, grossing $81.7 million to lead the chart this session. That sets the Steven Spielberg pick on track for $300 million overseas and $400 million global in the coming days. The total cums through Sunday are $294.4 million offshore with $391.3 million worldwide. Remarkable has been the play in China, where this ode to VR and pop culture has become the #1 Hollywood movie of 2018 with $161.3 million through Sunday. It's also far and away the top Warner Bros. Release ever. Propelled by fantastic Middle Kingdom reviews, the gaming culture and continued social media chatter, and juiced by the tomb-sweeping holiday. At the end of this week, RP1 dipped just 32% in the Friday to Sunday period compared to last frame's opening. Chinese IMAX crowds have been especially eager to get to the oasis with a virtual tie between weekends. Also notable in China, Irfan Khan star Hindi medium, a 2017 pick that released on Wednesday, came in No. 2 with an estimated $21.6 million. The performance of the relatable social comedy drama continues a growing boom for Indian titles in China, more in local language below. Paramount Pictures elsewhere. Paramount's A Quiet Place, which announced itself at $50 million domestically, also made noise in its offshore bow. In 40 markets, the John Krasinski-helmed horror title belted out a $21 million opening. Comping in like-for-like markets, the full weekend gross is 79% above the debut of Get Out, 70% ahead of Don't Breathe and on par with Split. Horror fans in Latin America gave the Krasinski, Emily Blunt star strong starts, while the UK was the biggest dollar debut at $3.6 million. There are many majors to come throughout April and into the summer. Sony meanwhile, the vocal stylings of Disney, Pixar's Coco are bringing it closer to the $800 million worldwide mark, now at $790.1 million with continued play in Japan. Also in Japan, Fox Chernin's The Greatest Showman has topped $40 million as the Hugh Jackman musical dances towards $250 million international. But smoldering intensity won the day in Japan this weekend as Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle finally swung into its final market. The opening helped lift the worldwide cum on Sony's smash to $950 million. Next weekend, Dwayne Johnson returns to wide international release with Warner Bros.' New Line sci-fi monster action or Rampage. The pick redeems the global box office star with his San Andreas director Brad Peyton and grabbed a China day and date release for April 13th. Breakdowns on this frame's films above and more have been updated below. A Quiet Place. Paramount from director, star John Krasinski. Paramount and Platinum Dunes, A Quiet Place debuted to $21 million in 40 offshore markets this weekend, including its top play, the UK. This is a terrific start for the story of a family forced to live in silence while hiding from creatures that hunt by sound. The overseas run kicked off in about half of the international footprint, with such majors as Russia, Korea, Germany, France and Spain still to release. There's joy on Melrose as the debut weekend launched 79% ahead of Get Out, 70% above Don't Breathe, 46% brighter than Lights Out and 14% over The Conjuring. It came in on par with last year's Split, the $17 million budgeted pick before P. Overseas, the marketing campaigns were highly localized and focused on the notion of protecting your family. Themed stunt screenings were held for media, influencers, tastemakers, and fans, with the living in silence and rules of survival concepts front and center. The Quiet Theater, No Talking, No Texting PSA ran in 60 countries, while the Be Careful Where You Step mobile game was localized in 37 markets. Digital influencer programs also challenged folks to spend a day in silence. Real-life couple Krasinski and Emily Blunt also did their bit in the UK, charming audiences with a sit-down on Graham Norton's couch last weekend to talk up the film. That was the biggest offshore market for A Quiet Place at $3.6 million on 526 screens, for 83% above Don't Breathe and 66% above Lights Out. In Latin America, which leans into horror, the movie is the first of the genre to receive the highly respected Garantía label from exhibitor Cinépolis. Mexico gave A Quiet Place a No. 1 debut with $2.7 million at 700 cinemas. That's 204% above Get Out, 76% above Don't Breathe, 24% above Lights Out and 3% above Split. Australia came in third at No. 3 with $2 million at 219 sites, notably topping Lights Out by 114%. Brazil bowed No. 2 with $1.9 million from 464, topping Get Out by 132% and Split by 22%. Taiwan was next with $1.1 million at No. 2 from 85 and 65% above Don't Breathe, 21% above Lights Out and 5% above Get Out. It came in 14% below The Conjuring and 54% below Split. No ones include Malaysia, $760,000 per 130 cinemas, Thailand, $663,000 per 60, UAE, $575,000 per 48, Argentina, $463,000 per 100.